Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 1. A big opportunity for Everton to get their first win, but Everton just weren't good enough today at all. Just weren't good enough. No cutting edge in the final third. Build-up play wasn't good enough. First 20 minutes was fine, like I mentioned in my match reaction. But no, serious things need to be looked at. The players getting brought in, the formation isn't getting the best out of the team, and that's a big opportunity missed because I thought they were very, very ordinary, very, very ordinary. And have to score a 88-minute goal to get a draw against the promoted side is pretty poor, isn't it? Pretty poor. Let's get into the player ratings then. Jordan Pickford. To be fair, he was not an issue for most of the game, but on their goal, sadly, he's palmed the ball out straight to Brendan Johnson, who's finished it really well. But the shot I don't even think was that hard, and he's palmed it right back into the only player in the box. I thought it was. I've watched it again, and it's just poor goalkeeping. Because really, if he keeps his arms flat, he palms it away from the goal. There's almost like an angle on where he parries it to, and it goes straight to the goal scorer. I thought that was really, really poor. He made a slight amends with the assist for the goal. It was a great ball over the top. Most of the game he was fine. Some of his kicking sometimes was a little bit, especially when Rondon went off and we were down. We didn't really have a centre forward. Some wayward kicking, but yeah, big mistake for me. Big mistake. Give Pickford a 6 just for his all-round game and because he did set up the winning goal. But big mistake that really shouldn't be palming it out there. It should be going out and wide, not back into the goal area. Let's move on. Nathan Patterson. Yeah, again, attacking wise, not too bad defensively. I still think he's needs to learn a hell of a lot defensively because there's far too many times where his body shape's all wrong and people just walk past him in the box. So that is definitely something he has to hugely improve on. Going forward, I think he's improving. Sometimes he makes poor decisions, but he is. I noticed today trying to be available, especially if the ball's on the left-hand side. He's trying to make himself available on the right-hand side all the time. If anyone's got the ball in and can get a cross out there. So, slowly. I think being as a wing-back will help him as he gets used to the Premier League. So that will help him. He has always sort of played in that position when he's played for Scotland, and that's why that helps him. He hasn't played a lot at right back, so it's not necessarily the position that that he's used to. So maybe again that's one of the reasons why we're looking at playing with wing backs. But Everton have got to evolve into a system where it's 3-4-3 and not 5-2-3. It's got to evolve. Otherwise, we just don't create enough and we don't have enough width. So I've given Patterson 6 on the other side. Michalenko. Good into the tackle. Offensively, not really giving us anything at all. It's something that's been clear in all 3 games, how little is coming from him on the left-hand side. And that has to improve. I think defensively, he's still doing a. He's funny because he's on the other side. I think defensively he's all right to a point, but offensively I don't think we're getting anything from him. And if you're playing with them as your width, you've got to start offering something. So we're gonna have to, in the next few weeks, it's gonna be interesting if this system continues. It suits the centre backs to a point. But it doesn't, at the moment, the way we're playing it, it is like having 5 at the back at times. There's no adventure from the wing backs to get forward enough and play high enough. And that's where someone in the midfield, a Ghana type player, would make so much difference to this team. Having someone who can fill in and allow those players to get forward. But also, it's what happens when they get forward. Will they offer something? Mykolenko, to me, has offered nothing in the 3 games. He's almost one that you look and go, well, he's a left back. He's a defensive left back. Maybe we have to start, in games like that, start looking at and go, well, maybe we can bring Vinagre in and he can be more offensive. It's something they're going to have to look at going forward. It's just right now the team for me just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. The players we've got in the setup. I've given Mykolenko 5.5 because I thought going forward I just thought he was appalling. James Tarkowski, he had a shocker today, absolute shocker. Everything he touched, or everything he didn't touch, ended up. He had a horrible game. He just had an absolutely horrible game. Things were bouncing off him. He was letting things bounce. Some of his clearances. I don't know if playing on the left-hand side of the 3 suits him, but he was really poor today. Really poor. It just started badly and just never improved. I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe Cody's took the role he thought he was going to be in the middle, but he was poor today. And hopefully it's just an isolated game. Hopefully it's just one of those games. But there was so many little things like letting the ball bounce and the ball going over his head and things. Just dead basic defensive things. And as I said, I hope that's something that improves going forward. I think Ben Godfrey's such a big miss at the back because he was the one who was really versatile and had the legs. And obviously him playing out there I don't think really works. He's had to be shifted over there to accommodate Mason Holgate on the other side where Ben Godfrey would have played on the left-hand side. So not a good day for him at all. I've given him a 5. Conor Coady. I thought Conor Coady had there was little moments today I really, really enjoyed seeing. He was like, there was one where Iwobi got back on the left-hand side of in the Gladys Street, in the corner with the Gladys Street and the Bullens, and he came over to Iwobi and he's patting him and he's giving him the fist bumps and stuff. And there was little things like that today where I just thought you should be the captain of this team. I know it's your first home game, but he really led by example today. And putting his body in the way, and if he made a mistake, he made sure he rectified it. I thought from that side of things, I thought he was excellent today. He's a proper defender, and he doesn't tend to let things bounce or just he tends to win pretty much everything that's in the air as well. And I thought he done really well today. I thought he was the real leader that was needed. The organiser who was getting us up the pitch. Just little things that I think have been missing in the last couple of years. Getting us up the pitch when the ball, getting the team up the pitch, getting old school basic centre back stuff that is maybe gone out the window a little bit. But I really enjoyed seeing that side of his game today. It's a long time since I've seen that from a centre back. So I'll give Conor Coady 7.5. Mason Holgate, pretty solid game. No issues as such. It's been fine. I've given him a 7. As I said, he's come in the last couple of games and he just looks like someone, a nice steady player that you don't have to really worry about. Okay, he hasn't got the pace of a Ben Godfrey or the strength, and that's still missing. Because as I said then, the back threes had to be shifted around a little bit. But yeah, dead steady today, really steady. Into midfield, Tom Davies, bit of a surprise inclusion. I thought Tom was fine today. I honestly don't know why we subbed Tom off. I don't know why we subbed him off. I thought he was getting his foot in and getting us out of a few little moments where he was coming back and helping the defenders and just putting his foot in. There was one he dragged wide in the first half. I thought he'd scored, but Tom was fine today. He was exactly like he was when he came on against Aston Villa, and I really don't understand why Frank Lampard took him off. I really don't, unless it was a fitness thing. I really don't know. It was like he had this new toy on the bench and he just couldn't wait to get it out. And I just don't think that worked. I really think Tom was the easy sub, but he was our only real defensive sitter. You know, we'll come on to Iwobi in a minute, but I just don't understand why. I just thought this double sub, I just don't think it worked at all. I don't think it worked at all. And I'd have left Tom on, and I would have brought, if you're bringing Onana on, listen, and after seeing Onana, I wouldn't have brought Onana on till maybe the last 10 minutes. Because he was, we'll come on to Onana, but I thought Tom was steady, absolute steady. I'm going to give Tom a 6.75. I thought he was nice and steady, nothing amazing, didn't do anything incredible, just did his job. But he's such the easy sub to come off. But when he came off, we lost something. We lost a player sitting in the middle of the midfield, who just did the basics, and I just didn't understand why we took him off. It just seemed really stupid to me, really, really stupid sub. So yeah, and I thought that made a big change on the game. Next one, Iwobi. I thought he was great again. Thought he did his job, picking up the bits, defending, trying to break forward. Excellent play. Again, little things like maybe a couple of times where under it passes and things like that, but he was trying to get forward. He was trying to play on the front foot, trying to get plays in behind. And I thought he had a good game. I thought he had a good game. I've given him a 7.75. So yeah, he's been our best player in the 3 games. So great start of the season. Going to be interesting if we get the plays we want in, where he fits into it all. But did really well. Demarai Gray, the goal scorer, started really well again. First 20 minutes, like some other people's, some other players who played today, started really well. But unfortunately, drifted out of the game. But then, obviously, got the goal. It was a great run. Well timed, great first touch. To be honest, reminds me of the goal he scored against Burnley last season, and a really good finish. But during the game, he was just far too many times when, again, a little bit running through blind alleys, not 100% sure what he was going to do with it, and he picked it up. I've given him a 7.5, but needs to just have a bit more direction when he plays. Needs to have a bit more. When he picks the ball up, you need to know what he's going to do with it. And I don't think him and Anthony Gordon had enough of that today. But it was a really good goal. It's a really good ball by Jordan Pickford. Great first touch and a really good finish. So fair play. We needed it, obviously. We needed it, obviously, to get us a point, which another defeat would have been. Another defeat would have just been horrendous for us today, wouldn't it? And it is really disappointing that we haven't got 3 points. But if we haven't got a goal scorer, then what can you do? Anthony Gordon again started really well. First 20 minutes on the front foot, cutting through off the right hand side. Couple of moments where I thought he'll score here or he'll put a good ball in. But after 20 minutes, he just went out the game. He picked up an absolutely he looked really hyped up for the game, and I can understand why with everything that's gone on. He looked really hyped up for the game, and then he just put in a stupid tackle. Got a yellow card. It was absolutely stupid. And then that was it. He drifted out the game, and then he started bottling little 50-50s, and there was one where I think someone put him through, and he bottled the challenge on the goalkeeper, and he just drifted out the game completely. A few little moments where he picks up the ball, but far too many times we slowed the game down in the final third, and he was a big culprit of that. He slowed the game down, and I just do you know when you're looking at him thinking someone's offered nearly 50 million quid for him, you think, dear me, I'd expect more for a player that someone values for 50 million quid, but I've given him a 6, but he needs to do better. He needs to do better. There's just far too many times in a game when he's just trying to pick up the ball and beat everybody, and it just doesn't come off. There's no end product at all with him, and that's, it's worrying that Everton would knock back money that is vitally needed for strikers. So, Rondon, I honestly, again, I don't, unless Rondon was absolutely on his arse, which I didn't think he was, I don't know why we took Rondon off, because I think I don't particularly think he had a very good game, or, and he kept on getting caught offside, or he's slow to get back, but he gave us a shape. He gave us something to play off. He pushed their centre-backs back and stretched the game a little bit. And when we took him off and played Dwight McNeil for up front, then the game just become frantic. Their centre-backs were allowed to push forward. And yeah, it was just, to me, it didn't work. It just didn't work at all. And I'd have kept Rondon on as long as possible to keep the shape for the team. But the simple fact is, when you've got someone who can play centre forward, you have a shape to your team. And it's so obvious what we need now. And if the club don't go and get what we need, I'm not asked about Dominic Calvert-Lewin when he's back. If the club don't get what we need, then we're going to be in the same situation we were last season. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Because Forest are dross, and they might improve. They might improve because of the players they brought in. But we are dross. They are dross, but we are in front of goal. We cannot put the ball in the back of the net. We need to bring in strikers. We need to bring in attacking players who can do that, because we haven't got them at the moment. And they have to do that quickly, because that's almost like another game we threw away there today. Rondon had one that I think he just put wide. Really good effort in the second half. Took it and turned. If we had a striker of any note there today, we'd have scored a couple of goals there. We'd have scored a couple of goals without a doubt. So I've given Rondon a 6. The subs, Onana. Well, he's got 30 minutes under his belt, hasn't he, in the Premier League? He's frantic, isn't he? He was absolutely frantic. Again, reminded me of when Fellaini came. The pace of the game at this stage is too quick for him. So straight away, he's taking a touch and he thinks he's got time and he hasn't. And, that's where he got his yellow card. Bringing the lad down. And then he has another one where you're thinking, oh, here we go. And then after that, he settled down, but he couldn't really tackle anyone or do anything. And that's where the manager again has to earn his money. He must have seen that in training. Listen, he's a good player. He's got loads of talent. He just needs to settle down, and of course he'll improve. And game time is good for him. It just didn't work today because he got booked really early. Once he got booked, you can tell he's neat and tidy. He's got loads of little touches, but he's also quite confident about his own ability. But he's only been in the Premier League for 2 minutes. He has to settle down and understand the speed and do things that are just the basics. Just get the basics right for the first few weeks. Keep it nice and tidy for the first few weeks. And then grow. Your skills will start to come out. So it was a poor game when you look at, like, in terms of the yellow card and how, like, frantic he was, but I'm sure he's going to improve. He's a very, very talented player who's got no experience of playing in the Premier League, and he just needs time. Just needs time to settle down. And the minutes on the pitch will help that. Of course they will. It's just that when it's 0-0 and there's still half an hour to go, and you haven't got another holding midfielder, and it's not easy. But hopefully he looks a really good, confident player, and I'm sure he'll become a vital asset for Everton. So not his best start of his Everton career at home. I've given him a 5. And Dwight McNeil didn't really offer anything. Was brought on up front. He's not a centre forward. Again, shows you where the club is. That's why I can't understand why we took Rondon off. He didn't look like he was, dying out there. Give him a 5 as well. Didn't, tried to do things, but never really come off for him. Everton need to bring players in ASAP. Simple as that. We are not a good team, and we need to bring in players. We need to bring in forwards. We need to bring in attacking players. We need to bring in people who can score goals, put the ball in the back of the net. Someone who will grab one early in that game and then take it away from Forest. If we'd scored first in that game today, I'm quite confident we would have won the game. But it never happened. So there you go. My player ratings. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Lots of you who are live already have some bizarre comments as well. Yeah, there you go. On to Tuesday night against Fleetwood. And then Brentford next week. There you go. Make sure you check out Baz's videos as well. Check out my instant reaction from the Gladys Street. And I'll catch you all later.